So much stuff has been said in the crypto industry right now, but so much has not been said. And we really got to bring that to the table because you guys as investors have to understand what needs to happen. We are going to go over the stuff that they are not telling you and really dive into that, because the stuff that they are telling you is not what you need to be worried or concerned about. That is key. Guys, please do not buy or sell anything that I talk about. Guys, this is not financial advice. This is just education to help you get through this crypto crazy nonsense, right? We're going to get there. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe, that bell notification, so that you could stay in tune with all my videos. First things first, this cold has really been kicking my butt, but you know, I'm doing my thing, no complaining. So there's a couple things that we need to talk about that is really concerning to me, and it has to do with a lot of people saying that only 10% of crypto coins are going to make it. That may be true, but I personally think that is going to be down the line, like past 2030, because what needs to be established is what is going on now. We have Bitcoin being established as a primary source of strength for currency debacking or backing, however you want to call it. Jasmy, I think that, my personal opinion, yeah, it's been slapped around. A lot of coins have been slapped around. You look at Litecoin, it was sitting at $50 some. You got Solana under $100. It was getting pretty wild. Were the markets tanking? I don't think so. I mean, yes, they dropped significantly, but the thing is that what I believe is going on right now is the greedy people, the ones with a shitload of money, are getting everybody to sell off and get out of crypto because they want to buy up all of the good coins. That's pretty much what it's coming down to. And sorry, I need to keep this throat moving or lubricated. So they want to buy all the coins that, people been holding for a long time. And you're going to see a lot of people say, and big people, like very famous, common in the crypto industry, are going to say, well, only 10% of crypto coins are going to make it. That's probably true, but I don't see that happening until after 2030, maybe even longer, because we have to be established with, what coins are actually going to bring value. And this is what I said, buy coins that are going to bring value. There's tons of them that are truly going to bring a lot of value. Look at the top 200. There's a lot of good buys in there. Even down below in the down there in the thousands, there's some of those coins that are going to make it up to the top because they're positioning themselves to do what they were designed to do. And that's what's going to happen, is that when these coins, when they figure out that there's going to be extreme value in these tokens, they're going to be like, okay, well, let's start sorting out which ones are good and which ones are bad. I do believe that we're still going to have an altcoin season this year. It's a given. I mean, it's going to happen. I think that a lot of people they don't know what's going on in the crypto space, and that's a problem because they're listening to all these fools that are out there telling them that, sell this, sell that, because, everything's going to go to zero except for 10% of the coins. Even 10% of the coins is still like 300 tokens that are, and I just don't see that happening right now or anytime soon, in my personal opinion. Now, going into Jasmy, we understand what the background and the history behind Jasmy is. It's a Sony executive company that these Sony executive guys know what's going on. They've entrusted Hera to basically handle that stuff, and Hera's just taking a different course of action. Yeah, it looks bad. He's the busiest person that I think, is out there because he was traveling around pushing Junction to get out there. And what did he do? He got Junction out there, got it on the charts, got it on the exchanges, and in between that time, he was formalizing partnerships. Now everything's starting to be able to have a baseline for Jasmy to now take that company to a bigger level. And my perspective on it is simply that, Jasmy has these Sony executives that They've been in the market. They know how to handle the market. They know how to distribute globally. Obviously, when you look at Sony, and these guys are not little scrubs in Sony, they were big time executives, and they pushed and globalized a lot of Sony products, and they've been there, so they know what they'll need to do in the future for Jasmy to actually become, one of the bigger tokens and really formulate a system that is going to grow Jasmy into a big global utility. And I think they've already discussed it. I think they already know what that looks like, and that's why they're so confident. The problem is just catching up with the times, catching up with the technology. Obviously, we're not there with the technology that has to be in place for crypto to really do its thing, but the setup is there. We're already looking at, okay, well, let's utilize payments. Let's set up all the banks. Let's take everything decentralized. And it's a snowball effect. They start somewhere, and it's obviously with XRP putting themselves globally. It's your ISO 222 tokens that are positioning themselves globally. You got ZBEC Network positioning itself globally, while pretty much in the United States. So once all these alignments come into play and they start to line up, and we understand that there's a value that's lying there, we're going to see the mass adoption start transitioning from the way we do things now into what is to come. And that's what I think people are missing out on. And I do agree there's a lot of coins that they're just pretty much useless. I mean, all the meme coins are just fun coins. They're not, I'm pretty sure there's a utility. And I'm pretty sure that there's a place for them, but are a lot of them going to make it? No, I don't think so. I think the strong projects that are actually going to do something, your real world assets, not all of them, your AI, not all of them, but I do think all the ISO 222 tokens are going to do something. I believe all the data and IoT tokens that have, systems in place are going to do something. So is Jasmy going to be the only one that's out there? No, there's going to be some competitors, but it's a good thing. Competition is good because now they're going to be battling to create the best technology for users. And that's what we're all missing out on. A majority of people got into crypto because they wanted to make money, and they thought the volatility of it was so crazy. And it was true that was the fact, but now it's not is going to be as volatile as it was because the big elites are standardizing it, and that's what's going on, and that's the stuff they're not telling you. Again, my apologies. I'm trying to push through this video to get it done and get it out there. There's a lot going on, in the markets. I don't ideally think that it's the worst time to get into crypto. I believe it's the best time to get into crypto. I know it's hard because I'm talking to two different types of people. I'm talking to people that have been in crypto, that have put money in, have seen money go down significantly. But I'm also talking to people that have not got into crypto, that are looking to get into crypto. And now is your time to shine because your availability to get into crypto at, these prices is pretty insane. It's like, I would rather buy a portion of Bitcoin at 60,000, 70,000 versus 120,000. So it's a good time. I'd rather buy a Litecoin at $60 than $100. You know what I mean? It's the right time to buy, and that's the thing that, is really the determination of where you're at and where you stand in crypto. You have a lot of opportunity to buy coins that are great at a very, very cheap level. You have an opportunity to buy coins that, you probably wouldn't have wanted to buy into, like, when Bitcoin was at 120,000, you probably didn't want to get a portion of that because it's so minute. But now you have an opportunity to buy Bitcoin at 70,000, and that's a fraction. Even a fraction of that is way, way more easier to buy than it was at 120. So what I'm truly genuine saying is your buying opportunity right now, if you're a new investor or even if you've been in crypto, stacking up at these levels is kind of how you want to be able to position yourself to make money. Can we go down? Yes, I believe we can possibly go down, But as long as you're dollar cost averaging into the coins that you believe in, that's where your success is going to come from. Guys, I try to get through this. I'm sorry if my voice sounds ridiculous, but I love you guys. See you on the next one. Take care.